This is a double. This is weird. This is like
It's a double. It's Inception. We got
Dude, I don't
everybody.
understand how streamers do it. I see like streamers be playing Rocket League and like looking at their Twitch chat and TikTok chat. I'm like, I could barely look at the ball when I play Rocket League. How do you look at both chats?
I have no idea.
Let's preface this real quick. So we're live on TikTok, we're live on YouTube, Point 3 Podcast, Hero Scroll, Funko Lou, Spider Brando. We have a series that's coming out, and it's about the MCU. We're going to be doing one for the DCU/DCEU, but essentially we are ranking and diving into every single project. So if you go to Disney Plus and you look at that entire timeline, you're going to see all these projects. And we here at the Point 3 Podcast, we're going to give you our thoughts as a collective group. We're going to have some guests on. We're going to be making this a big series, a big event. But today what we're doing is we're essentially prepping the series, mainly a tier list. So we are taking 44 MCU projects. And we're going to be running through each of them. And we're individually going to be slapping them into our own personal tier listing. S tier, A, B, C, D, and then F. I want to preface this really quick. Everyone has different criteria. Everyone has different standards. This is where I'm going to come from. So I want to know what you guys think of how you are looking at this tier list, because I have S tier is like a superior tier. A, it's an excellent tier. B is good. C is average. D is below average. And then F is a big old fail. So how are you guys seeing these tiers when you're going to be throwing some movies and shows onto your list?
Obviously F is just fail or just trash movies. To me, S tiers are movies that did something to me.
That's fair.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
I do want to preface this. I do see a comment from Year. Good thing about this, there is a strike going on, but we're talking about all projects that have already happened. So it's free game.
Yeah. From the understanding of the rules, because I did see your comment here, and I think it's influencers. It's when you're getting paid, is my understanding, and I could be completely wrong. And if we are, then we admit it. But my understanding is when you get paid for new and upcoming projects. If the guidelines changed, I'm not aware of it, and I don't know if Lou or Brandon you are, but I think we're okay.
Yeah, I mean, I still think the whole thing is like we're not trying to take a job or write or act or anything along those lines, but I know new projects, it's kind of frowned upon. But I don't think any one of us have any intentions of trying to join SAG-AFTRA at any point. But these are all existing projects that have been done as new as Secret Invasion. So that is what I got.
Crazy tier list maker.
But thank you for the concern, though. We do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Flash, hope you're doing good, man. Good to see you. But yeah, no, these MCU rankings are, I think, kind of the biggest project we're doing, right?
Yeah, I think so
far.
I mean, once you get to this point with how many projects there are, I feel like it's a turning point in the MCU right now. And I think we've kind of been talking about it, of how things are changing. There's some new rumors, again, everything pre-strike that we'd be referencing. But the multiversal saga it's on the edge, and we're thinking it's going to tip this way. So in preparation for all that, we are going to straighten out the MCU, Point 3 style. We're going to certify every single thing that we put on this list. So it's going to be fun to just review everything and talk about it, especially with how things have changed in Phase 5.
Yeah, absolutely. And once it's done, it'll be presented to everybody in a really nice way. So, make sure you're following us on our socials, because that is where I think majority of the list is going to go, right?
Yeah.
And then we have plans to make the big finale probably here in a podcast. So
yeah,
be ready for that. Make sure you guys are following us on our socials. make sure if I'm talking to the TikTok people here, if you haven't followed us yet, follow our individual pages.
I'm talking to YouTube people also.
Yeah, everybody. But
for when they
especially
see, for when they go rewatch this, I'm talking to you guys.
absolutely.
And
But,
I want to add this for people who are like, oh, I've done this, or I've seen this, or you guys have done it. The cool thing about what we do here at the Point 3 podcast is we're not telling you that's exactly what these movies or shows are going to be. We essentially are giving you our perspective to enhance your perspective, because at the end of the day, every single person takes these criteria and it's your own, right? So we're going to show you a blend of kind of how we break it down, from a movie level to the MCU comparison superhero genre. We're just going to give you a lot of different insight, and we want you to join the conversation. So if you're on TikTok, drop your comment as we're going through this. YouTube, comment, social media, Instagram, TikTok. Let us know what you think, because the more opinions that we get, the better this conversation is. And again, we see it every day. It's an ongoing thing. Whether you're a comic fan, you're casual, you're someone who's diehard MCU, whatever it might be. Everyone brings something unique to this. So we're just very interested. This is what we do. We eat, breathe, and sleep superheroes. So this is going to be a fun one.
Absolutely. And I think so people can kind of gain insight into how we are going to rank this, I guess, especially with the tier part. Because for everybody watching this, we have the rankings done, basically. But just because something's ranked doesn't mean it's a bad quality, or just because it is a higher ranking could mean that it is still a lower tier of a movie. It just depends on our tastes and our preferences. So I think it would be fun. Do we want to start off and give an S tier movie? And let's not do the obvious ones. Right? I think we talk, I think, let's be honest, right? Let's get the S tiers.
Let's get them out. Let's get them out.
Let's get the S tiers out of the way. So Avengers,
you gotta add some hype.
We can go down the list. We can go down the timeline order and hit them.
Here's the thing. There's gonna be S tiers. There's gonna be S tiers that are still gonna be on this list that people don't think are S tiers, right? But for us, they might be. I'm saying let's get the universal S tiers out, which is Infinity War, Endgame, No Way Home, and I would say Winter Soldier.
Ooh, agree.
Can we kind of agree on that, or?
I mean, I definitely have Winter Soldier at S tier, which is nice because I don't think that was the case when it came out. People were like, oh, this is really good, or this is kind of game changing. Like, as it is aged like a very, very fine wine. So I definitely am throwing it up there for me personally. No Way Home is cheeks. I'm just kidding. One of the goats.
I almost left on this.
Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Let's do it. Let's talk about it.
1.
Is it S tier?
So,
Spider Brando.
I was gonna say that's something we could probably talk about, because I think some people might have that. There's a debate to be had for some A tier, others S tier, right? So, yeah.
I'm going A tier.
A tier?
I think it is still an excellent movie. I think that there can be something that comes out that makes us feel the way Guardians did, how unique it was. But in terms for me specifically, S tier is like once in a lifetime. I don't feel Guardians was once in a lifetime, but I think it was the highest of the next tier that you could probably get in the MCU.
I'll let Spider-Man go next.
I can't say it's S. I can't say it's. I'd put Guardians 3 and S over Guardians 1.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh. As time goes on, Guardians 1, I think is the best of the trilogy in my mind.
Here's why I would give 1 the S tier. It kind of has that Winter Soldier feel of it ages so well, like when we talked the trilogy a while back, our trilogy rankings, man, that was fun. That was a fun one to go back and watch, and I still enjoyed it thoroughly. And that once in a lifetime aspect that you talked about, Greg, to me, Guardians has it for the reason of it took a no-name group with, let's be honest, probably B to C tier actors at the time. The only one that isn't is maybe Zoe Saldana.
She was,
And it made them into must-see.
Now here's my question for me for A tier, because I think Fabian and another one, Black Panther. This is where I go A tier. A tier is like, if you have your team up movies, if it did something for me emotionally, it's still gonna fall in that A tier. So like a Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, like this is the best of the best. However, I can feel that way as time goes on, right? I get a Guardians, great. Winter Soldier, great. Black Panther, great. Shang-Chi, great. However, I'm going to keep getting those types of movies if they hit a very high level with those projects. But in Infinity War, it takes a decade plus to make that movie. In Endgame, you needed Infinity War to get an Endgame, even though it's essentially one movie split into two. No Way Home, you got to pay a lot of money to a lot of different people to make that happen. That's where I feel like that S tier, personal feelings aside, that's where these movies live, where a Black Panther, a Guardians of Winter Soldier are that very excellent, high quality, very well done project. But A by no means is a penalty.
Absolutely not. It's just, this is where that difference of opinion is going to come into play, because I do think that taking a, like I said earlier, a no-name group that nobody knew, nobody cared about, everybody wrote this movie off, and they made something out of it. So much that it got, without Guardians 1, you don't get Guardians 3.
Fair point.
To the same point that you said about Infinity War Endgame, you don't get the huge payoff without the 10 years that we've had with those characters. So I don't know. I'm going to say this. I think I might be the only one out of the group, but Fabian will back me up. Thank you, Fabian. I think Guardians 1 is an S tier.
Okay, let me ask you this. Could someone make a Guardians again? Do you think the next person who picks it up could give you a high quality? Take away that it's the first of the trilogy and it's the foundation. Do you think someone can give you a type of group like that under that scenario? Or do you think because the MCU is where it's at, the possibility of something like that ever happening again is dead?
I think it can be done again.
Okay.
But just because something can be done again doesn't mean it's not special or great to see.
I agree.
Think about this to that point, right? Because I don't think you're arguing it as a let's put it down, but I know you're playing devil's advocate. But here's the thing, right? We've seen all these rumors talking about how everybody and their mother is coming back for Secret Wars, right? / Kang Dynasty. We don't know. Would that mean that Spider-Man No Way Home is now not an S tier because others did it too?
No. I mean, from a live action Spider standpoint, I mean, we could see all three of them again. Oh, I mean, that's tough. You trapped me a little bit. No, I mean, it's a fair point, but to have those three in a self-contained ish story, no. Now, okay.
I looked down the comment and I'm like, ooh, this one's gonna be fun because Fabian, for the YouTube people, Fabian has asked about Avengers 1. And his specific comment is Avengers 1 not S tier anymore? What do you guys think on that? Spider-Man, now I'm gonna throw it to you. No.
I
Uh-oh.
know.
Uh-oh.
S tier, the problem with S tiers is that you can't just like put every good movie or like every movie that has a legendary moment in there. Like it's like this when we were doing the Spider-Man suit rankings and we were going through the S tiers. It was so hard not to put like which one was it? The Amazing Spider-Man 2. No, we put that in S tier. There's one suit
Whatever.
that it
Yeah.
was so hard not to put in S tier, but we just couldn't overload it too much, you know?
Was it Future Foundation? It might have been that one.
I think it was
Maybe.
that one. I have it somewhere,
Here's
Okay.
here's where you can run into
but
an
I
issue.
don't know where it is.
Really quick before you go with your point, Lou, I just want to ask so we can get an interactive.
For
Fabian,
sure.
what would be your argument to put Avengers 1 in S tier? I just want to know, and then we'll read that out after Lou says whatever he has to say.
I mean, on the foundation, my assumption with that is because it's the first of its kind, catapulting one of the most profitable franchises in history. It was game changing at its time, right? At the time, it was game changing. However, where Winter Soldier ages like a fine wine, Avengers in comparison doesn't. I think it's
I was gonna say, so Fabian, what I just asked is if you could explain why you would give Avengers 1 an S tier.
it's for me it's A. For me it's A. Personally.
Put it in A as well.
Get that banner going up on YouTube 0.3 certification, please. Because I give Avengers an A tier, and it's not because I'm just trying to be a hater or be like, oh, hot take with 0.3 podcast, haha. It's just that I rewatched Avengers literally the other week, and there is a lot wrong with that movie, to the point that I genuinely believe if Avengers 1 came out today, we would not look at it the same way. I think would be closer to the we'll hop over on YouTube then and type it over there. It would be in that mid tier where we would not talk about it as beloved. I think it would be closer to where the Justice League Joss Whedon cut would be.
Agree, but I think for this, the hard part is you could say at the time it was S tier because it was the top of the top. However, rankings I do believe are fluid and things change as quality improves as time goes on, right? Can it stand the test of the time is something that we always ask. No, because I do think while it was what made the MCU great with comedy and action and all those things in the first really large team up, when you do get more team ups, you're like, okay, the dynamics, the choreography, the characters, the dialogue, the writing, as those things change, and then you go back and look at an Avengers. For me, nostalgia can't carry everything, but I still think it's an excellent movie for the most part. I think you can just poke a little bit more at it, and it just kind of just a little bit. But then as more things come out, Winter Soldier goes this way.
Yeah. That's how it is. So sorry, Fabian. I know we're breaking your heart, but
To each their own.
To each their own. And again, we want to preface this. A tier is still a really good tier to be in.
Really good tier.
There's
not good.
Nothing
it's
wrong.
Excellent for me.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. It's S tier is that like
unicorn.
As that unicorn. Exactly. That. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm cool with that personally.
You could argue that.
Yeah.
And we can sit here and you probably could convince me that it is still S tier. But right now, for me, it is, and I think for all of us, it's at that A tier for now. You know, if we do this again 2-3 years down the line,
easily could be S.
Easily could be S again.
And to preface this, this is our preliminary as we do a deep dive. This is one of those movies. Avengers is one of those movies that we've kind of been talking about a little bit more over the last 3-ish weeks, to where when we do this tier, we're going to have some outliers, and those are going to be the movies and shows where we're going to deep dive and really talk about the discussion of these border movies. What makes it an S, what doesn't make it, and where we really coming from a critical standpoint. Is it more from personal perspective, just our own likes and all that kind of taste stuff? So
that's why the top 10, maybe even 15, I don't think we've decided yet, but that might be the YouTube video podcast, because that'll be the bigger discussion. Some of these you can kind of understand, but 10 to 9 or an 11 to 10, you can always switch those around.
Yep.
And you could still have a good list and be like, I see that, I understand that. So
all right.
So yeah.
Let's throw a Disney Plus show out there. Loki.
Ooh.
A.
Ooh. Is Hannah still in here? I don't think she is. I haven't seen her in a minute, but I think I would have been curious.
A all day. A all day.
What keeps it from S?
What's the Disney Plus show?
Oh, that's not an excuse.
That's not a good.
Kidding.
No, come on, man.
Dude, it takes a whole. I don't know how to explain.
What did it do to be an
It's
A?
not. What do you mean? What did it do to be an A? It freaking cracked open the multiverse.
The second, you're right. The second season hasn't come out yet, but this is purely based on the first
season 1.
Yeah.
Loki season 1. Loki season 1. We'll be more specific on these ones.
Besides like 2 filler episodes, it's been pretty solid. Oh, also, what is up, Tom? Welcome in.
There hasn't been a single Disney Plus show that's been S tier.
Nah, not even close. I personally think
no.
it's A, just because it was good quality. I thought it was. I think it's better than Falcon. I think it's better than WandaVision. Just from a story standpoint.
But again, what keeps it back for you? Why can't you give it an S tier?
If season 2, I don't know, it just feels inconclusive because it doesn't have a clear ending, as we know the story is going to go forward. That kind of takes little points away.
But what about from Loki's
I can't put it as an S point. I can't put it at an S yet.
Okay.
But remove the large MCU implications that most people point to with Loki. It was one of the most successful shows in terms of opening up the multiverse to actually make it multiversal, especially with variants and all that kind of stuff, right? I don't believe people expected Loki to be what Loki was when we saw him pick up the Tesseract. And then the next time you see him pick up is in the desert with it. And it's like, oh, here's a brand new Loki that people loved Loki. And people fell in love with Loki even further through this series. And then you bring in new characters. You bring in Sylvie, who's fairly beloved. Mobius, who is probably one of, if not the best side character that we've gotten in the MCU. And it was a fairly good story for the most part. Good character development. We got a lot more depth. People look forward to it. There's hype for season 2 because of season 1.
And I was going to say, in a time where Marvel started getting the outcry of, hey, they're not giving us what we want, it's not doing what we need it to, Loki did. I don't know if everybody remembers the discourse online that people were having with Loki, but I truly remember that they were like, yo, if Kang isn't revealed at the end, if we don't see other Lokis, if we don't see this, that, and the third, then this show sucks.
Yeah.
And it gave you all that. So
it was cool. I liked it a lot.
So that being said, Spider-Man, where's it at for you?
Hey, I'm still keeping it at A.
You're muted.
What?
No,
you're muted on your live.
Oh,
so I can't.
Oh, your
The people
pause.
can't hear you. Yeah, and I can't hear you.
Oh, my freaking 20% battery came up. Oh, I have it as A.
A tier.
I'm keeping it as A. I
Okay.
ain't changing that.
What could it have gotten it up to an S for you guys potentially? I'll
You
give you
get a
two.
little bit of the filler.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
a couple dialogues or a couple just traveling scenes that could have been cut out and just used for more other things, like more variants or more like explanations on what was going on.
When's the last time you saw it? I'm just curious. I'm just wondering.
When it came out.
Like when it came out.
When it came out?
I haven't rewatched it.
Okay. I'm curious to see how if it'll change when we do our rewatch
For season 2.
later on. Yeah. I'm curious. Because it's a long time. It's a long time ago. So I can understand if you.
Where do you guys have Loki?
I have it in as an A.
Oh,
But closer to B, right? If I had to take my A tier, Loki is right now, as it stands, based on everything we've talked about, the lowest A tier.
Really?
Loki needed two things: more action and different cameos. I know that it was meant to be Loki specific and Loki centric. However, it's the kind of show where when you open things up like that, you got to pull in more characters, in my opinion. Just like we're talking about with Deadpool, we're getting with Secret Wars. I think instead of stuffing everything in the one, you use Loki and you have some more cameos in a better way than She-Hulk actually did.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it at A. That A. And I'm gonna put it top.
On me for putting it at
No. I was just asking you to see why you put it. Because you spoke first.
Fair.
And people were gonna ask. But no, I agree. It's held back by itself. And it's not a bad thing, but I would put it like A tier right at the cusp of S. Like it's touching it right there. And it had like one little push away to BS, I think. But that's just me.
Wow. Do we rapid fire 5?
Rapid fire 5?
Yep. No context. Just slap them
Okay.
up there.
Iron Man 2.
Oh, bro.
D. I have that in
D tier?
Below average. I don't think it failed, but I would say below average.
Jabril, what's up, man? We're here doing preparation for the podcast. We're doing a large MCU ranking of the entire thing, and we're just talking it all. And right now we're going through a tier list.
Stacked right now.
And we just threw out if you had to pick a tier for Iron Man 2. Yeah. So Iron Man 2. Fabian said C.
For me, C is average.
Dude, my C tier is. I feel like my C tier is way too much right now.
I'd put it
average
in like,
MCU movies. I think that's fair.
Oh, 2 F tier? Oh God. Fabian says F tier. Jabril says C tier.
E.
Okay, Iron Man 1. Iron Man 1. Iron Man 1.
Okay.
A.
All right.
You say C tier is going to be a full. My A tier, I think, is going to be a full. I think majority of these movies or shows are going to fall into that.
Really? So I only have 10 in my A tier right now.
This is interesting. Jabril says 2 becomes less trash as time progresses, and I forget it more, which is fair.
That is so fair.
Fabian said not JK, D tier.
I go deer.
All right. So what'd you say though after that? Iron Man 1?
Oh, wait.
Iron Man 1. A tier.
That is borderline S for me.
Really? Oh God!
Because it's
borderline
what started
S?
it all. It's got it's borderline S.
I don't.
It's not S because I'm taking the nostalgia out of it.
I'm taking. I have some personal pieces, but I'm kind of slowly taking that out of this ranking simply on the basis of if everything's the first, then I literally could have the whole MCU based on hype and freaking A or S tier.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'll be honest, I'm struggling between lower A to
And
upper
B?
B.
I could
Yeah.
see B. I could.
What the Funko? What's up? We are doing podcast
Hey.
preparations, ranking the MCU in its entirety.
Let's finish Iron Man off.
Whoa.
Iron Man 3? Oof. Oof. Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3. Yeah. I'm curious where you guys have that, because I feel like when we were talking about the rankings for it, or when we were doing our rankings, mine was a little higher.
So
Yeah.
Jabrel says Iron Man is a B tier, a high B. Does a lot with less than the rest of the MCU, but has outdone. That is very true. It has
That's
been outdone a lot. 3 is a D tier, and then Fabian says 3 is a C. Wait, so you put Iron Man 3 above 2?
Oh, let's
Oh,
go.
3's above 2 for sure.
Let's go.
No doubt.
Really?
No doubt.
Hell
Simply
yeah.
based on Tony Stark's story and how he's handling everything from a mental aspect.
Exactly.
I need to rewatch it. I won't lie. I
don't like Aldrich Killian. I don't like what they did with AIM. I did not care for Pepper Potts being Super Pepper. Was not a fan of that, and I was actually slightly upset that they trashed many suits that I wanted to see.
The chat's going crazy right now. So Fabian said 3 is better than 2.
Yes.
Jabrel said 3 over 2 is a scalding take, and he loves it. And then Tom says Iron Man 2 is for me is better than 3.
No, Tom, you just want your bird, man. That's all you want. You just want your bird. That's it.
Oh man, this is tough. I won't lie. What the Funko says Iron Man will always be nostalgic because it's the first, but she'll stick it in B. All right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put Iron Man 3 in D tier, right below Iron Man 2. And if I have time,
wait, what tier?
If D tier,
You said, oh, okay. I thought you said B for a second. I was like,
no.
When we get to that?
Now, hang on.
I'm gonna put it on D tier, and I want to rewatch it because I think that's one that
Watch it when you're down bad. I swear, I watched it when I was at a low point, and you really pick up on the mental health stuff in there. They do a really good job on it and dealing with Tony, and that's 100%. What made me respect it a lot more. And like, I kind of not hated it as much as I used to.
Dude, between the PTSD and the fact of like, I thought that the initial Mandarin thing when Tony came out hard with the whole Mandarin, like, here's my address, and then they roll up and he does the whole thing with the suit and giving it to Pepper and saving and all that kind of stuff. Like, I thought that was really cool. 3, if they wouldn't have nerfed the villains in 3 would probably be B, A tier. Can you imagine the actual Mandarin from Shang-Chi being the actual villain of Iron Man 3?
Ooh.
Just please.
Ooh. All right. So we got some comments. Fabian says Iron Man 3 at least had structure.
Fair point.
What the Funko says, I hate Gwyneth Paltrow, so her Pepper Potts character is ruined. Tom says, fight me, but Iron Man 2 is the first Iron Man I saw. I just think Iron Man 1 is so gimmicky, which is interesting. I haven't heard anybody say that. I'm curious about that. And then Jabrel says, now that I think about the racetrack stuff in Elon, I'm with y'all low-key.
To Fabian's point, I have a question for everyone in the chat. Does a Mandarin with the 10 rings solo Tony?
Yeah.
In Iron Man 3.
Yeah. He would. 100%.
I think so. Unfortunately, but
because Mandarin, because Wenwu is not he's not a joking character. He would not give Tony any time, to be quite honest. No. Absolutely solos. Yes. Why are you even asking? Yeah.
Okay. One other question then. Loki is not the main villain of Avengers, but the Mandarin is. Do the Avengers defeat him?
Not in the
OG
first.
Avengers defeat Ten Rings Mandarin.
There's a point to be said about Thor and Hulk.
Oh.
Because remember, this is before the Hulk got nerfed hard.
He was a Hulk when he was Hulk.
When he was Hulk. And this is Thor, so
Bro,
OG Avengers struggled with foot soldiers.
you
so
know
no.
Mandarin's gonna just launch Hulk to Sakaar. He's gonna see ya. I'm gonna catapult you to Ragnarok. We'll see you next time. Skip phase 2. Gone.
Yeah. That's a good question. I think we could save that down the line as another video.
Okay.
All right, one I want to throw out there. I'm curious because this is one of those that people put all the time in different spots. Moon Knight.
Ooh.
I think out of all the Disney Plus shows, that's the one with the most mixed reviews.
I don't get why there's mixed reviews. I don't agree
I don't
with
get
the
it
people who
either.
don't love it. I love it.
I don't either.
It's A tier for me.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. I was going to say that one's easy for me as well.
I think it's above good. I agree with What a Funko.
Moon Knight is great. Oof, I don't like Moon Knight. It's that kaiju fight.
I forgive it though. I forgive that end.
I do agree. I wish it wasn't in there. But I think everything else around it puts it up really high. A tier Disney Plus show, but not better than Loki. I can agree.
I have it as C.
Oh, that's a fair point.
People in the Jewish community. Oh, that is true.
Yeah. I have.
Wait,
I
what
have
you
it
say,
on
Spider-Man?
I have it in C tier.
See?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's the first offense. Can we get
What?
enough like that? Is
Excuse me?
anti.
Yeah, no, we need to put anti.
It's a good.
See?
It's a good show,
That's not
but
B for
when
you,
you're
then?
in the Disney Plus shows, in the Disney Plus shows, yes, but like in the overall MCU, I don't know, like it just fit in C for me.
Okay, all right, but here's the thing. I'm curious because normally when I put these movies, right, I also take into the consideration the quality of the filmmaking, at least both story and everything. Do you not think that Moon Knight doesn't do any of that well?
Oh, it does a lot very well. C's like average.
The main character's story is very good. And it being titled Moon Knight, that is where
Oscar
I put majority of the
Isaac,
weight.
Amazing.
I didn't really care for Arthur Harrow. I thought that they did not do enough when it came to all the other deities. Khonshu was great. I love Mr. Knight, Moon Knight. I thought it was rock solid, personally.
Dude, I don't know. I just didn't like the whole the villain thing. That kind of turned me off.
Yeah. Here we go.
It kind of. I feel like it could have been not even just like the fight specifically, but like the motivation. And this also, I want to bring out Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh,
next while we're on the TV show because I have that in my D tier just because I hated the villain in that freaking group. I don't know why. I was expecting so much more out of that show, and it just didn't sit right with me.
Before we move on, really quick, I just want you to know the chat when you said that erupted over on TikTok.
Exactly.
Everybody says that Moon Knight should be at least B tier. Fabian says that the CGI was a little bit rough for him, which I can agree. It's rough moments.
I ranked it a 7. If that makes everybody happier, it's a 7 show, but it's just C tier.
So
it's average. Is it fair to say it's average to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mel's, what's up, man? Yes, on the deities.
It's higher C tier.
No, I always love that name when I see it pop up. Sauce Drippin' Melts.
He does great customs, by the way. Shout out to him. If you guys want customs, hit him up. Wow. Okay, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Sorry, Spider-Man.
Oh yeah. That's
Had
D.
moments. It had moments, but it's a C tier for me. It's there. I watched it. I would only go back and watch it if something happened in the MCU that made me want to go back, like in preparation for Brave New World or Thunderbolts potentially. But I would need to see more through trailers and leaks to do it.
I just thought it was corny, and the whole villain group was just corny as well.
But it had one of the
I
best
just
moments.
didn't. It did. It had a lot of. It had good moments. I like Sam, and his story was great. I
Yeah.
wanted more of the Winter Soldier though, and like
Yeah.
Bucky, and not just him being like comedic relief for most of it. I get he was coming out of his whole whatever Wakanda was doing to him of deprogramming him and stuff, but
Yeah.
I feel like they missed a lot of opportunities to really show like him using his powers for not his power, yeah, his powers pretty much for good, instead of just being there just as a little joke and stuff like that.
I mean, okay. Let me ask this question because I think that there are elements of this
Yeah.
that made it
Exactly.
enjoyable. However, what was missing from this? Because again, this is on the heels. This is what the second thing that we saw. This came out right after WandaVision, correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
Was slated to supposedly be before it, but it's a follow up
It
to
was supposed
Endgame.
to be the first, right?
It's
Or
one of the
wait.
first things we saw during COVID time.
Was it?
Peak.
Did you just say it was the first movie? Or
I thought it was supposed to be the first. I thought it was slated, and then they moved some things around. I think this show just ultimately fell short, and I think it more fell short on the reveal of things like Sharon Carter as a power broker, Madripoor, those bigger world building things. I don't think that they ever did right.
Yeah.
And
where did that Sharon Carter even come from, man?
And to Jabrel's comment, right? Because he says it's a good comment that I think is what carries this show to the high, or at least for me, the mid C tier. The moral questions of being black and Cap makes me biased, but I like it, and I agree. That dilemma and the message that provokes is very good, and I do think the tones and the messages bring that up to the mid C tier. And that's what keeps it there, because everything else around it kind of falls flat. Bucky is great. It's probably the best he's been since Winter Soldier, maybe Civil War.
Yeah.
But everything else besides that, as you guys already said, bogs it down, man. Madripoor is boring as sin. The Sharon Carter thing is one of the dumbest reveals for the sake of having a reveal, I think.
Kind of. Yeah.
And
I did like Zemo.
Oh, no, she's a scroll.
Bro, I'm dropping the.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Zemo was okay, but
they just didn't go far enough.
I wanted more, especially after seeing him in Civil War.
Heck
I wanted
yeah.
more of that Zemo, not hey, I'm gonna dance in the club, haha, Zemo. That's not what I really wanted. The 60s veteran super soldier storyline still resonates, absolutely, and that's what 100%. I mean. Those messages, fantastic.
However, knowing what we knew about each of these characters, Val, U.S. Agent, the storyline that we're talking about here, Bucky, Madripoor, all of those things that they brought in, I think this was the first big multiverse saga offense to where they really MCU-ified everything and just cut it all off. And where they kept it fairly contained, where you had a time to really explore the fallout of Endgame. And they didn't. I forget the group who was supposed to be the Global Peace Corps, whoever it might be, Battlestar, John Walker, those types of characters. Like, it just felt, I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time on this one. It just felt like it fell short. It felt a little soft. I think they had a massive opportunity where they succeeded with Sam. They fell off with kind of everyone else.
Yeah. The two characters, the two main characters keep it up, but everything else just kind of falls around it. And it's just not what I don't think it's what we wanted it and what it needed to be.
No.
Yeah.
But John Walker's,
yeah, that's what I have it.
John Walker's scene with one of the flag smashers with Cap Shield.
Yeah. That was
top
a
10 moment in
one.
the MCU.
Yeah. It felt like a filler. Yes, absolutely.
Agree.
Absolutely.
I think that set the tone for Disney Plus. I think from this moment on, that is what Disney Plus felt like, minus Loki.
Yeah. All right. What's another hot one? What's another hot one we can debate for a minute?
I'm gonna throw Hawkeye out there because I think Hawkeye is a big old D.
As in Dookie.
Big old dookie. Or I want to say C for cheeks, but
WandaVision. We'll get to WandaVision just for what the Funko since they asked. Okay. What don't you like about Hawkeye?
oh, everything. You had such a cool it's the follow-up from the Endgame. Ronan, what's going on? You get an introduction. Kate Bishop. Are we talking Young Avengers? Echo, cool character that didn't really go to fruition. And then the end, they just nerf everything. And the Kingpin thing where Kate Bishop is able to just own him. After I saw this guy crushing heads and Escalades and Netflix, there's no way that should have happened, nor should he have ever worn what he wore in that final outfit. Hawkeye, below average for me.
Interesting. Spider Brando?
I have it in the D tier as well.
Ooh.
It was a fun watch, but could it have been way better? 100%. Yelena and Kate Bishop saved it. I'm a big Haley Steinfeld fan. I think she played a really good Kate Bishop. But I don't know. It just felt like a lot of fluff at the end of the day. Like I feel like it didn't really do much with. Did a little bit with Hawkeye's storyline, but
especially after that
could have
opening.
been. Yeah, it could have been way more considering he's a freaking OG Avenger.
They get scared to commit, I think, in Hawkeye.
For sure.
And something what the Funko just said about covering Ronin, 100% that for me, when I thought they were doing Hawkeye, and especially the way they led it, it felt like they were really going to delve into the ramifications of being Ronin.
Mm-hmm.
And they did for all of 5 minutes. You know?
It wasn't Maya Lopez going after him and having that vendetta for everything that happened when Ronin was Ronin and really messed up the whole jumpsuit gang or whoever they were called. Wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And Hawkeye being scared of Kingpin and then Kate Bishop coming in and doing what she did to him. It should have been a very vicious Kingpin that carries over from Netflix who pushes Hawkeye Ronin to the brink, in my opinion.
And it is weird for them to just kind of be like, yeah, everybody knows about the Kingpin. And then it's like, well, why hasn't he ever been brought up in the MCU? It was a very lame excuse on how they brought in the Kingpin. And it's just, for me, I think the good does outweigh the bad.
Okay.
But similar to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the main characters are good, but everything else around it kind of falls down.
Yeah.
So I would put it in like mid to lower C.
That's fair. Good question from Fabian. Should Clint have died? Or should Clint have, No. However, I think
not in Hawkeye.
Not yet.
There should have been a moment where he was pushed so far that he physically could not handle another battle. Not just like, I'm old, I'm bruised, I'm bumped, Advil. I make a joke about it all. It's Advil man. That's what I always called him before. It's just not enough to say I've been in the game for a long time, because you have a lot of other OGs who are still in the game that have been in there for a long time. Hawkeye's always been a C to D character. And I feel like getting your own show, this is the chance where you feel like an A-level character. And they didn't dive into the coolest part of him. So for me, he could have, and I probably would have been okay with it.
Oh, that's fair. So, Mel says, how do we feel about Kingpin and Daredevil? Do you mean him being in The Born Again series or the Netflix? Because the Netflix campaign is S tier.
Amazing.
He's
Yeah.
S tier. Yeah,
Daredevil
Clint
was
should have either
S tier,
physically
so-
or mentally been forced to give up the mantle for good.
100%.
I can agree with that. I don't think he should have died, but I think he should have been done. Netflix series, yeah, no, he's S tier. Yeah, S tier for sure. I really wish they did more for Hawkeye. Agreed. I feel like putting Echo and Fisk it messed up the Matt Fraction vibe they were going for. Yes,
That's fair.
and I think Echo brought on too much expectation for what they ultimately did with her.
It almost, I just want to throw this out here. It almost feels like whoever was running the first handful of episodes, the first 3 episodes, was not the same person. I have to look into it again. It feels very disconnected from the beginning. And yes, to your point, the vibe that what they were going for. I wonder who picked up and ran with it towards the end and who was running the show.
You met Vincent, and he's an S tier. He seems like it. He seems like a great guy. All right. Jabril, thanks for dropping by, man. We really appreciate
Thank you for dropping.
Awesome.
All right, so we promised What the Funko we would talk about it.
WandaVision.
The first Disney Plus show, WandaVision. Base reaction, just base reaction, no explanation. Where would you put him? Where would you put WandaVision?
Oh, she's definitely. WandaVision is an A tier.
Where an 8?
Middle of the road. I would say above Moon Knight, Iron Man. Probably not over Loki, not over Avengers, Winter Soldier, or Guardians.
Okay, Spider-Man. Mels, you haven't watched WandaVision?
I
yet,
have
man?
it as A. I just moved it up to A, actually. I put it in
No.
but then
What?
after... No, this is before
Oh, okay.
we started talking about it.
Okay.
I've been teetering. This is the one that I've been teetering back and forth with. I was obsessed with that show when it was coming out. The TikToks, my TikTok was just like WandaVision talk. Like you did not, nothing else was there. Just like replace the little T logo with the freaking WandaVision logo, and that's what I was scrolling through. I was sending videos every day and theories to my roommates and trying to think of different theories.
Yeah.
And that was a great experience watching it weekly. We're still wondering where Mephisto is to this day. But
Dude, I can
It was,
honestly admit I did not get the Mephisto thing did not detract me at all. But the coolest thing about this is how I really enjoyed Matt Jackman being a part of this project and watching the whole like Disney Plus behind the scenes or the assembled for this. It was very cool to see how they put everything together, the sitcom style, how connected it was, how personal it was. And then when they flipped the script to be like, okay, this is what's really going on. Agatha, Vision, it's real. She starts to get her powers, Darkhold, all those kinds of things. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Dude, what they did, given the circumstances of the timing of it coming out and the ulterior, is that the right word? The ulterior plans that they had for the MCU at the time. What they came out with makes plenty of sense looking back at it.
Plus,
I
COVID.
still, yeah, exactly. I still would really love to see the timeline that would have had WandaVision lead into Multiverse of Madness and then No Way Home after that. I really would like to see that alternate timeline.
In a non-COVID
But-
world, those 3 projects are connected much better, much smoother.
Oh, 100%. And that makes me think if freaking well, I don't want to say if someone hasn't watched the show now.
That's fair.
It's about 2 years old,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, but out of respect, you know. I think they could have used a certain person in a much better way, and that's all I'm gonna say. I think you guys.
Mels gave you the
Yeah, you got the green light. You got the green light. Put on the gas, baby. All gas, no brake. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. I think they were definitely planning on using Evan Peters. Oh wait, why? That's not even a spoiler. He's in the freaking trailers. I just realized that. Oh,
They made a
oh,
Funko
Oh,
about it. What do
any
you mean?
Funko collector?
yeah, dude, that was just. It's been a long day. Oh, I think realistically, I think he would have had like a greater appearance or, so I can't think of the word.
Like more use out of it.
Tasks. Yeah, more use out of them if the timeline did not get so messed up. I really think a lot of the Multiverse Madness cameo rumors came out were because they were planned, but then COVID just didn't let a lot of it happening. They didn't want to let so many rumors come true by filming them elsewhere or going through all the works. And I think that would have had something to do with it, and especially once we're hearing all these Deadpool 3 rumors, probably would have even connected to that in like a much earlier phase.
Let me ask you guys this. In hindsight, do you wish that WandaVision was phase 5 and had not come out yet until now? If possible. Push Multiverse of Madness as well. Push Multiverse of Madness back.
I was gonna say, yeah. If you
I mean, push No Way Home back too, though.
Do you?
You wouldn't have to.
I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to change anything with No Way Home.
What the Funko says no.
No.
I forgot my question. What's no?
If you wanted WandaVision to come out during the
phase 5
time of the multiverse, no, I think it was a great introduction to phase 4 and phase 4 Disney Plus and multiverse.
I think it came out at the right time.
That's fair.
It came out at the right time. For me, my biggest gripe with WandaVision is it answers too much too quick.
Ooh, it
answers too much too quick, and it wraps it up too neat for me personally.
Yeah,
where it didn't really leave many things to interpretation. They did do well with the themes, and I was going to say it gave us the best moments with the themes of grief and everything. One of my favorite moments, and to this day I still think is one of the only times I have goosebumps ever watching something, when Vision and Wanda are arguing and he knows something is wrong, and she's just lying to him as the sitcom credits play, and then he's just like, stop lying to me. To this day I'm like, ooh, chills, bro, chills. Like, such a great moment, such great acting. So yeah, WandaVision's genuinely amazing, and I think that COVID hurt it a little, because in a non-COVID world, I think we're giving it S tier, maybe.
I don't know.
But if
without Doctor Strange in this, I think you're missing. I think that's what people are looking for the most, is that ending. Its ending didn't satisfy as much as I think it could have, but I don't think it ever would have.
Yeah,
in my opinion. That bridge to Multiverse of Madness, those projects did not overlap, nor do they segue perfectly. That was just like, you do this, I do this, here's this movie, here's this show. Elizabeth Olsen, we need you, and we're going to pay you a lot of money.
Yeah. Elizabeth Olsen is S tier. I think Elizabeth Olsen is S tier to everybody. I don't think we're arguing her because there would be no argument.
All right. Is she still alive? Is the Scarlet Witch still alive?
You met her? Yo, I'm jealous.
That's mommy right there. Anyways.
Wow, I didn't want to say it online, man. I've been holding it back. No,
I saw it in your eyes. That's why I said, let me say it for Brandon.
Yeah.
Let me say it for Brandon, because Brandon is, I could tell. All right, one more before we head out, guys. One more.
Okay. Let's pick one. Let's pick one each.
One each? Okay.
Yeah.
Spider-Man will go first.
Dude,
nothing wrong with being
Doctor Strange.
The first one?
The first one, yes.
That is the definition of B tier.
I'm literally typing it in B right now.
Wow.
That is that you look up B tier,
bro.
and
I have it as
that's what comes up.
and that's number 9.
Shout out to
Top
Fabian real
10.
quick.
Fabian, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Fabian.
Doctor Strange B tier. It's a good movie.
Why is it a B tier?
It does nothing special.
But presents itself as very, very unique and very special. It's cool. It's a very cool movie.
That was a
and
great
that's
origin for him.
and that's what I mean. An origin movie, it's really good, but it does nothing different as an origin movie. And I think it has the crappy origin villain. It has, the story, the generic, oh, my master died and now I have to take over type of thing.
Villain. This is the evil twin thing that's been circulating.
Yeah.
A lot of these movies where your hero has, this is like kind of an additional layer to that, because the villain has the same powers, but then you have Mordo who also has the same powers, and then you have the Ancient One who has the same powers, and then you have Dormammu.
Good night, Fabian.
It's it's a lot of repeat antagonist, protagonist mixture, secondary characters. You get a lot of the same flavors, and they're not that different.
Yeah.
I would have preferred, truthfully, if instead of Mordo, because I think Mordo is useless. Peace.
See you, man.
Hey, enjoy WandaVision.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Appreciate that. Yeah. No.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah, B tier. I don't know, B tier.
You take the time stone out of it. Is this almost in the same bucket as how we talk about Dark World?
No. No. That's
No, I think it's still a B tier.
I just want to
Yeah.
make
not
I think it's still
nothing. Dark World. The D tier stands for Dark World.
That's
Oh God. All right, we'll get to that down the line. But no, that was a good one. That was a good pick.
All right, real quick. We can save these for the other ones. I want to just throw this out here real quick. She-Hulk.
That's a B tier for me.
There you go. Right above Doctor Strange.
I would say either like right below or with it. I don't know yet. I'll have to go back and check it out later.
Whoa. Did you say above Doctor Strange?
I said either
Twerk her way to the
said
top,
either,
baby.
Either below or right next to it. Like just barely above it. Not by a lot.
That's the Spider Brando look of like, I'm gonna roast you guys so hard.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I can't say anything about it because it's in my haven't watched
Omni Bros.
tier, so.
Yeah. Omni Bros, what's up, man? B tier is accurate. His redemption is way too quick and the villains are wasted. Yeah, I agree. She-Hulk is B. She-Hulk is hot garbage, is what Tom said. Which
I'm scared to see what's
it,
coming
so.
next from Tom. Is it just one comment?
Yeah, agreed. Let's agree to disagree. We'll talk about that later on in the rankings.
Tom, you got to come back. Yeah, you got to come back for the ranking video when we give our scores.
Yeah. I think it's B tier. I think it's a B tier. Spider Brando? You didn't say yours.
Oh, I did. It's in my haven't watched tier.
Oh my God, I forgot you haven't watched it yet.
I still haven't finished it.
Once Brandon pays me.
Dude, I owe him a lot of money, actually.
We have our own Daredevil storyline going with the Kingpin here.
Yeah, well, please handle that outside.
Yeah.
He owes me fantasy football too, though, so just
it cancels out. So
wait, no. I think he paid it. I don't know.
Flag on the play.
I don't know.
Yep. Flag on the play.
All I know is I owe him a lot of money for my crew for.
Unfortunately, you have that on record now, so you kind of messed up.
It's been on record. It's okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Hero Scroll.
Jonathan on record calling Elizabeth Olsen mommy. So
a lot of people do. A lot of people do.
Last one.
Okay. I'm not touching that yet. I'm not going to touch that one yet. Age of Ultron.
Ooh.
I have to rewatch that. That's
I
one
only
that,
wanted
after
yeah.
all of these rankings and talkings, is something that I've been meaning to rewatch. But right now, I have it in C tier.
I'd say C to B. I'm on the fence. I don't know if it's a C. I don't know if it's a B. I don't. It's an Avengers movie,
I
so
only have
it's hard for me to
three
think
High
fast.
C
B.
tier right
Ooh,
now.
high B. Ooh, oh, what is all these B's? Oh,
I will say
I only have
this:
three
Ultron is one of my
That's
favorite
crazy.
characters in the MCU, hands down. James Spader, voice acting, Ultron's pretty dope. I like the concept, the fights. Like there are a lot of like very unique moments that have not happened in any other project that happen in this movie, and it had huge MCU implications. We don't get Civil War without this.
I think Ultron is one of the most wasted villains in the MCU.
Agree.
And I think because of how excited I was for Ultron to come out and how they used him, it disappointed me. This is genuinely the only MCU film that I remember specifically feeling disappointed in. I've never felt disappointed in any other MCU movie. I've just been like, okay, that was my favorite, or I like that one a little more. But that one, I was specifically like, man, it made me feel the same way as The Flash, where it was like, what did I just watch?
Really?
I specifically remember, yes, to this day, I remember it because I was like, it didn't hit right for me. And maybe I was too young to accept it. And even watching it later, I still don't feel anything for it.
It felt very scripted and everything felt set, action cut.
You compared it. I compared it to The Flash in the feeling that it gave me. Not Age of Ultron's still a far better movie than The Flash.
The Flash is not 0.3 certified by any means whatsoever at all. No. We use Flash as a comparison of like we're not pro Flash. Yeah, it's just
that Flash is trash. But yeah, no, I don't know. It just made me feel disappointed, and maybe I need to watch it again with eyes unclouded of hate.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Two questions real quick on this, because I think these are large determining factors. Number one, for the movie itself, did the relationship with Black Widow and Hulk ruin part of this movie for you?
No.
Interesting. I think that's a big reason why people put it lower than it is, because of that dynamic. That people don't like it, and like the Hulk begins the nerfing.
It is where they begin his, but to me, the Hulk always has that person that grounds him, and it being Black Widow, I don't think is a bad pick, especially from the first one where so they kind of have that connection. So that didn't really bother me. No.
Okay. Second follow-up to that for both of you guys in the comments, for those still joining us and with us now.
What the Fungo said yes to that, by the way, that it did ruin it.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, that's like one of the number one things I've seen and heard from people. But was Ultron better in What If than he was in Age of Ultron?
Yes. Yes. That's not even a question. Yes.
All right.
Here's my thing. Ultron is a humanity-destroying robot, but at the same time, per the motivations they gave him in Age of Ultron, he wanted the Avengers dead. But somehow it still went to the rest of the world. And it didn't really make sense. For me, I feel like, and I know Age of Ultron sets up Civil War, but I think they could have done it better if Ultron really attacked the personalities of the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think them having Scarlet Witch there was really good, where she came and she started playing with all their minds, where I think Ultron should have kept doing more of that, and then ultimately a big battle, not just big battle. And then he also really didn't do anything. So
Yeah.
What the Funko, thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Still will say one of the biggest misses in this is not keeping it clear that Ultron was still alive. I don't think Ultron should have disappeared at the end of this, getting blasted and apparently erased by Vision from the entire world internet system, like whatever.
Yeah, I'm
Armor Wars, baby.
I'm going to put it at a D tier.
A D?
Yeah. I'm going to put it literally right next to Iron Man 3.
That's how we sign off.
Wow.
I think
Wow.
so. At least that's how
hot
I'm
takes.
saying.
Wow.
Dude, we got some hot takes tonight. I
Yeah,
love it.
straight fuego. Fuego takes. No context. I know we're done. Thank you for everyone who's joined, who has been watching.
Yes, thank you.
Werewolf by Night. Not too much to be said, but what tier would you put it? Just where would you put it? Just give a letter.
Lower
H.
B.
H.
For having watched.
I would say C tier personally, but
I think for what it is, lower B is good.
yeah, that's a fair point. All right. Well, that was fun. I enjoyed
That
it.
was fun. That was
enjoyed it.
very
Before we
fun.
head out, though, I have a special thing to showcase.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
Ooh.
This is some 0.3 behind the scenes. You're getting all of it today.
What's going on?
Yeah. For those of you still in this, we are live on YouTube and we are live on TikTok.
I got the
Oh,
Grail
snap.
today.
Oh, that's nasty.
that's
I
the
didn't see
back.
that.
Ooh. Ooh.
Trying to see if you look clean on.
I got the Holy Grail. Oh, I forgot.
Take
Let me
care of
show
take care of the green screen on TikTok.
Take
take
it
off.
out.
Honestly, I forgot I had the green.
Dang, dude. That's nice.
We got it. We freaking got it.
You have no camera. Is your camera off?
Your camera's off on TikTok.
What do you mean? Why is it just green?
Now you're just green.
Why am I green?
TikTok. This is a
Like,
this is
you're
a very
gonna-
important reveal. This is a very important reveal. I'm very jealous of
Oh,
this
there you
video.
All right,
There you go.
we got this bad boy
Look
in
at
today.
that.
Dude, that thing
It's
is
so beautiful.
nice.
I had no idea it was coming this early. My mom
Cool.
texted me. She was like, "Oh, yeah,
that's me.
I signed." I was like, "Oh yeah, I signed a package for you today." And I was like, "Oh, since when do?" I thought it was just like a Funko or something. And I was like, "Since when do they require signatures for that?" And then she opened the box and sent me a picture of just this tiny, just this random one like spot in the corner, like right here. And I was like, "Holy crap,
Bro, when you owe money to the boss, you can't show a PS5 on.
You know what's worse? You can't show
Yeah.
you can't show a special edition PS5.
Tom, it's fine. I had a 50-hour work week this week. We're chilling.
Oh, dude,
Tom,
that just made my
We
day.
are
It
we
just
are
made my
chilling.
day.
You will get your money, and you also haven't asked for it yet. So.
That's
Oh, man.
amazing, bro.
Oh God, let's get out of here
I'm kidding.
before someone comes and assaults Spider Brand on camera.
Baseball season's almost over, bro. I don't want someone knocking on my door.
Yeah, look, we are not affiliated, please.
Not 0.3 certified on that
Yeah,
one.
not 0.3 certified. We don't agree with any of that.
That was
Oh
awesome.
my God.
That was awesome.
But what a good way to end it, guys.
Yeah.
Everybody on TikTok and YouTube. I'm going to talk to TikTok first. TikTokers, everybody, thank you so much for joining us here. We appreciate you more than you guys know. Let's try to get 0.3 podcasts up to the social media followings. We want to get that up because we have a lot of stuff planned for you guys, both in terms of content and then also hint, giving back.
Ooh.
Maybe
Mhm.
giving away things. So
It's not just a way, it's giving up some good stuff too.
yeah, it's not, and we promise it's not just junk. It's stuff that
No comment.
is cool. things that you guys will probably like. So thank you, everybody on YouTube. Thank you guys. Not the Spider-Man PS5, unfortunately.
No,
Actually, here's the thing.
way.
Get us to 1,000 followers tonight, and will think about it. We'll think about it. We might talk. We'll talk to Spider Brando.
Get us to 5K and it's happening.
5K.
5K.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay. 5K. You heard it here. And everybody on YouTube, 5K.
I think I'd give this
on social
freaking
media
thing away for 1,000.
Look, we'll put it to give you guys time. If you guys get us to 5K followers by Monday, Spider Brando's giving away that PS5.
Because right now, 1,000 followers, like $1 per follower.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tom.
Make it happen. But everybody, thank you guys so much. We're going to end it here. If you guys don't already follow us here on social media, follow us over here on TikTok.
I mean, can
One hero, one villain. Sit down and chat over dinner. Marvel and DC. Ooh.
We gotta answer that real quick. Come on, that's
I
a
feel like,
bonus
yeah,
question. We got it. We're putting some time back on the clock for you.
All right.
Or Chata Hooligan.
Yeah, that's a great question.
I have an easy one right in my head. For DC, please give me Batman and Joker. Please give me Batman and Joker. The conversation they can have without ever putting hands on each other. Oh,
that'd be crazy.
Please.
One hero, one villain. DC, you know what? I'm going to say Hal Jordan. And give me Ra's al Ghul.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that one. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I will give you a new Marvel one. Tony Stark and the High Evolutionary.
Lex Luthor and Tony Stark. I like that. That's
Marvel and DC. Wait, is it one Marvel hero and one DC villain? Because Lex Luthor and Tony would be fantastic.
Marvel? I'm going to say Peter Parker.
And Cindy Moon.
Oh, God, no. They would not be having dinner. They would not be having dinner. Peter Parker and who would I sit?
Oh, I have a
You know what? Magneto.
Ooh.
Peter Parker and Magneto.
Yeah, Peter Parker and Magneto.
Captain America and Magneto.
Ooh, that would be good.
Decent.
That'd be really good.
Crossover one.
Hit us.
Deadpool and Deathstroke.
Oh God, no! Everybody's gonna kill each other.
Everyone's dead.
Everyone's dead. there's no dinner.
Yeah. No.
I just want to hear Deadpool make fun of him of why he copied his name.
Can we say Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman?
That'd be cool. That'd be a great dinner, actually.
I would actually. That's good. All right. I love that. That was a fantastic question. Yes.
That was a great question. That's great. But now we're going to end it before we get another great question.
Yeah.
Because we do have to go. But everybody, thank you guys so much for joining us here on TikTok, over here on YouTube. If you don't follow us on our social medias at Point 3 Podcast, stay tuned because we got a lot of great stuff coming at you. But until then, keep watching, keep reading, keep nerding out. See you in the next